Like at a certain point, they give a pedophile a fucking robot arm, like a big boss
Jesus.
from Metal Gear Solid 5 robot arm.
I would have watched the fuck
So
out of
now he
that.
can turbo molest kids.
He-
Oh, welcome back to the Alpha Primos podcast, the podcast where we talk about anything and everything from lame movies to great boobies. Hey, I'm Juan
yes.
Solo.
Yes.
I like that one.
That's very good. Very good.
I'm glad. Yeah, for the audience, it's a pattern. I'm gonna have a new joke, ideally, for every episode.
I would go as far to say those are bars. Bars, sir.
But-
Oh,
Bars.
thank
Bars.
Thank you. But anyway, you guys introduce yourselves. Come on.
I
Let's
am
not
the
get straight.
man with no name. Hi, I'm JJ.
And I am Paco. Just a big
Alright.
lovable bear.
All right. Yes. Well, welcome back, gentlemen, for round 2 of this show. And so we want to thank everybody who checked out episode 1. I want to give a special shout out to Rene from the Tradition podcast / the Laredo Chingon channel. He gave us a nice shout out, and I
Thanks,
always
Rene.
appreciate that.
Thank you. Ren.
So right
You're
now, so we are recording this about 2 to 3 days after the upload of episode 1. We're currently at 32 views.
Okay.
So
Nice.
and
And not
9
all of those are me.
subscribers.
Again,
I'm at
not
least
all
10
of those are me.
I made
And
my
yes.
coworkers watch it. Like,
Oh,
this.
thank
You watch it.
But yes, and yeah, we got 9 subscribers so far. So to all of those people out there watching, subscribing, appreciate it. Y'all are the top G. You all are alphas.
Y'all are
in
real
our
top
eyes.
G's.
Exactly.
Your Bugattis
So-
in the mail.
Your
Bugattis
Yes.
in the mail. It's a Hot
Exactly.
Wheels Bugatti, but hey, you have a Bugatti. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's on the way.
That guy's gonna come after us. I'm telling you. It's gonna be a Romanian hitman is gonna come to my job, and I'm gonna just like, yeah, I'm the one you're looking for, bro. Thanks. Yeah, just make it, let's go. Just if you're gonna do this, just leave my face alone. It's too pretty.
What if like the janitor is like the dude from A History of Violence and just like starts beating the shit out of it?
I will buy that man lunch every day. I would.
Yep.
That would blow my fucking mind.
Yeah. I think at that point it would blow everybody's mind.
Actually, speaking of that, there is a guy that comes to my job who I think is probably maybe because he said he used to do government work. He used to live in like Dubai. He's lived in Thailand and he's lived in the Middle East. He did like government work, and he just comes in every day and grabs. He always ends up buying like, or not buying, but he always ends up picking up like the mystery novels and those
Mm.
novels like who's that dude, like the Jack Reacher type novels, by Lee
Yeah.
Childs and all these guys. So part of me is thinking like, oh, maybe this guy is kind of like well traveled and he did all these things, and then the other half of me thinks maybe he's just taking excerpts out of the book and thinking, I wonder how much I can tell this guy to just fucking believe me.
This guy doesn't look like he can read.
Yeah. And then he like today, we were talking because he came in to turn his book and pick up another one. And he's and I was like, "How's your weekend?" He's, "Oh man, I had a great weekend. I did a shitload of coke." I'm like, "Dude, you're like." I was just looking at him like, "Dude, you're like 70." He's like, "Yeah, I know. I mean, I just can't do it like I used to, but I still do it." I was like, "I can't." Okay, cool. Like, and yeah, that's another factoid. Like, as I got older, learning the amount of adults that do drugs is really surprising. Like,
yeah.
way more adults
Yeah.
do drugs than I expected. Just and they're working at the bar. You talk to people, and these motherfuckers are teachers. They teach our students. I'm going into the bathroom to like do my rounds in the bathroom, and they're just doing a line off the seat. I'm like, yo, Don't you have a pre-K class tomorrow? Don't you teach pre-K? And
That's why
he's just
he's
like,
doing it.
yeah, he's fucking going for it. Like,
One of the
jeez.
vice principals when I was in high school was a total cokehead, and like everyone knew, it was an open
Yeah.
secret. Shit, even my dad knew because because he would go to the baseball games like in the league that my dad played in. And he was always like pretty amped up for the baseball. He didn't play. He was
You were
just
just
always like
there.
fucking hyped.
He's like, yeah, Las Águilas, let's go. He's like, oh, are you on the team? No, but I'm just really passionate. Just, jeez, dude. Like, but yeah, but this guy, like, I'm thinking, like, part of me thinks, okay, maybe he does, because there are some people here in Eagle Pass, a small town, that are pretty well traveled. They've gone on and done these things. A lot of them are military and stuff like that. There are people that live here that do have money. And then recently there was that teacher that she got selected to go do some oceanography shit on a boat somewhere, and like she's like front page news here in town and shit. So I was like, well, that's pretty cool, but it's no Jacques Cousteau. Just saying. Like if you would have said I'm going on a trip with Jacques Cousteau, I'd be like, kid, I come with you. Just I don't even want to. I'll do whatever. I just want to be in the presence of the oceanographer man,
Of
because I
course.
would assume he looked like Bill Murray.
I imagine Jack LaLanne for some reason. I know
Jack
they're two
LaLanne.
different
Okay.
people, but
Completely different people, just
Yeah.
opposite ends.
but yeah, I
Alright.
imagine like prime Jack LaLanne. Like they
Dude.
were workout buddies. They both
He's
pulled
like, what are
yachts
you?
on the weekend. Like
That's how Jacques Cousteau got half of his footage. He was like pre Steve Irwin. Look at this. Look at crikey. He just tackling a flounder or something. Just actually, the guy that did the River Monsters TV show that was like on Net Geo and stuff.
yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
He used to go to you know why they canceled the show? I just found out.
because he caught
Why?
everything.
He caught everything. He's like, I'm done. I caught everything. I was like, that's gotta be some badass shit. There's all these
That's
guys like Bear Grylls and doing
He's
all
the
these dangerous
Pokemon
shit.
master, man. Like he
Yeah,
caught them all.
he's the Pokemon master of like fish monsters. He's like, oh yeah, I caught them all.
He didn't
And I
even
used to
have the
like how
time
he
as
just show
Ash.
you these
yeah,
fish.
that was just a side quest though.
I wonder he's out there looking for the Meg. He's out there looking for the
Yeah,
Megalodon.
exactly.
That would be fucking crazy. That he's randomly out in the ocean and he catches it. I would be just like give that man a Nobel Prize and the Medal of Honor. Just give him all the awards. He
Yes.
just saved everybody's life.
Well, while on the subject of TV shows, let's talk about last week's episode where we were talking about video games that we wanted to see adapted into either a movie or a TV show. So we got a comment from Joe Gira,
Ah,
and he said,
Nice, thank you, Jojo.
"I
did you?
yes, thank you, Joe Gira." And likewise, this is what he said. He said, "I would love a series that adapts all of the Yakuza series, starting with Zero onward,
Ooh.
and and he would also like a Halo series that doesn't suck."
We can all dream, Jojiro. We can all dream.
Exactly.
Hey,
And
Some
might I
dreams are
say,
just too big.
and those are great picks, by the way, especially the Yakuza one. Like, I feel like
yeah,
Yakuza right off the bat has to be like a mini series, especially if you want to do the whole like franchise, like from Zero onward. Because I honestly think if you're gonna do each game like as a season, well, you
Oh
got like
yeah.
6 seasons right there, like seven.
yeah.
Would they be like an anthology series? Because like I've only played the games like here and there, so I've never actually played a full game. So like, do all the games connect, or is it just like
Yeah.
the same character?
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be like an anthology like American Horror Story. You'd have to
No,
watch from
No,
season one onward. Oh, it'd still
no.
be cool though.
There would
no.
be like, well, if we start with Zero, there wouldn't be
With
the radical switch.
the
but
yeah.
Uh-huh.
you would follow two characters sometimes, like,
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
and then
Okay.
their stories would converge.
Yeah.
Oh, that's still pretty cool.
Yeah, it's not till like the later ones where there's like four protagonists in one
Jesus.
game. Yeah, but
Yeah.
but no, I think that would that would be cool because I think they did try to do like a Yakuza movie like in Japan, and I think it flopped.
Yeah,
No,
Netflix did a
Korea.
Yakuza movie.
Oh, it was
Korea did
Korea.
a yeah. Korea
Okay.
did a Yakuza movie that just straight up adapted the first game.
Uh,
But yes, and
Netflix did a
like
Yakuza movie.
Oh
it
yeah.
was the Korean one. Like it was that
Mm.
one. It's the same one I'm
Oh,
talking about.
I
Oh
was talking
okay.
about the really garbage, The Outsider, the Jared Leto movie.
Oh no, never
Oh.
mind then.
I'm talking about The Outsider, the Jared Leto movie. I watched it and I was like, Jared
I
Leto, like
think
I like you,
Netflix for
bro,
a
but
while
ugh.
had the Korean Yakuza movie. It might have been called Like a Dragon or something Dragon because the actual name of the series in Japan is Like a Dragon.
Uh-huh.
Like that's what it
Hmm.
translates
Ah,
into.
okay.
Yeah.
But
I'll tell
here
you what, man,
in the
Korean
states they
TV.
changed it to Yakuza. Just-
I love Korean TV. I don't think I watch American TV that much anymore. I watch Korean TV, Australian TV, Australian slash New Zealand, and like British TV is what I watch now. Probably more
Hmm.
so Korean because they have that Physical 100 on Netflix, which is a pretty good show, and then they have another one that it's like a game show where they take celebrities and they're gonna get chased down by men in black suits, and whoever's like the last surviving one, they don't win money, they just win the, like they just give money to a certain charity, which I think is pretty cool. It's something a little different, and it's actually like that one's a pretty good show. And there's another show. It's
They need to get
I don't
Keanu
know.
Reeves on that show. He could
Yeah,
just go John Wick on all of them because he
Yeah.
can really do
dude.
all the John Wick shit.
Yeah. I've
That's
seen
my first thought.
the
The first
training footage.
episode. That was my first thought. The first episode, like Keanu Reeves would kill every last one of these guys and just walk away. They'd be like, "Where did you get a dog?" I'm training. Oh, okay. Um, but there's another Korean show. I'm still looking for it. It's like a unicorn show to me now because I started watching it, and it's they take these Korean celebrities, they put them on this island, and when they're doing their interviews, they're talking about, oh, I love this kind of house and this kind of house, and they built their like dream, like a part of their dream house. That's where they get to stay, and then they have to do all these different challenges around the island to get like money and points to spend, and then randomly this house that's in the middle of the island somewhere appears to open late at night, and you can buy like power-ups like a shield and all these other things, and they think, oh well, this is a shield, I'll just you know pull it out later with my phone. No, this motherfucker, they just hand him a real shield. He's like, what am I supposed to do with this? You carry it. Wait, it's not like a power up. He's like, no, it's just, you bought a shield. You get a fucking shield. He's just like, fuck. Well, I guess like, is this for well rules? He just like throws it on his back. So I gotta find that fucking show. It still bothers me because it's on Netflix and I haven't been able to find it. I wish they had like a history where I could go all the way through everything
All
I've
of
watched since I've had the account. But, you know,
All right. Well,
Mine would have a lot of that first season of Orange is the New Black. Like you watch that first episode an awful lot, especially those first 5 minutes. An awful fucking lot.
it's a great show. Okay, but it's a great show. What can I say? It's
I love
best
prison
5 minutes of
dramas. What
TV.
can I say?
Hey man, what was that show with the guys from the Arrowverse, Captain Cold and the Heat guy, like Prison Escape or whatever? It was on
is
Fox
it,
for a long time, for
is
like
it Prison
Oh,
Break?
Prison
five.
Break?
Prison Break. There it is. Yeah, that's the one. It's like low rent Arnold
The first
Schwarzenegger
season
stuff.
was actually really good.
It was. I never
Yeah.
watched it. I just remember it was like 5 seasons or something, but I never
So the
watched it.
first season is really, really good.
Uh
The
huh.
thing is, Fox didn't want it to end,
Uh huh.
but it's like the season ended with them breaking out of the jail. Like the premise of the show is done. Like it fulfilled its purpose.
Be like, all right,
So,
we're done. Like, oh shit.
so like
Okay.
every subsequent season past that just gets more and more stupid. Like at a certain point, they give a pedophile a fucking robot arm, like a big boss
Jesus.
from Metal Gear Solid 5 robot arm.
I would have watched the fuck
So
out of
now
that.
he can turbo molest kids.
He just picks a button, turbo mode. You know what would have been great for like their season finale of Prison Break. It's just them trying to get out of an escape room. Like somewhere in downtown Los Angeles, they're just in an escape room, and then like the whole season is them trying to escape. They make it all epic, and like oh my god, it's all these cool things. And then at the very last episode is just they get out the door, and it's like great, you made it. It only took you an hour. You guys broke the record. I can imagine everybody's collective. You son of a bitch. Like it's like Dallas. It was all a dream type shit. I'd be angry as fuck, but I'd be like, "You got me. You did real good, but you got me."
I think that might have actually been a season where, like, after they
Oh my
broke out of the
god! Don't
jail,
tell
they're
me
like,
that.
you pass, you qualify. This was all a simulation, and now we can send you to the real prison so that you can extract our asset.
Be like, son of a bitch. That was actually the first episode of that Disney Channel show National Treasure. I legit when they announced that, I thought, fucking a. Uh, Nicolas Cage is back in an episodic National Treasure. I am binging the fuck out of that. Nope, it's some Mexican chick. Wasn't bad, but I'm biased because I like those kinds of like treasure hunt adventure type movies. It's
Mm.
I guess you call it like maybe a guilty pleasure because most of them are pretty bad. But I still watched the whole thing, even though I knew it was like this isn't good. But they're talking about ancient myths and legends of the Maya. I'm totally in.
All right. Let us now move on to our first topic of discussion. So, there's this new video game that went viral. Now, the game's not out yet, but the trailer definitely left an impression. The video game's called Unrecord or Unrecord. I don't know if
I think it was
which way to
unrecorded, maybe.
pronounce it. I mean, it says on record, like
It's probably
UN, and then the
unrecord.
word on record.
That's what I'm thinking.
I
All
think so.
right, all right. Well, from this point forward, we're gonna go with unrecord because I mean, yeah, the gimmick of this game is it's body camera footage. So yeah, record or unrecord or. But yes, the reason it's making the waves is because well, to anyone who hasn't seen the footage, I highly recommend you check it out because holy fuck, this thing looks real. Like
I'm
it,
not
it
gonna lie.
doesn't look like a game.
I'm not gonna lie. When I first saw the footage, I saw it on one of those, like Instagram pages that shows you like crime from all over the world and stuff. I
Yeah.
legit thought when I saw that, I legit thought like, oh my god, they just shot that man. This is real footage. Holy crap! And then I read the caption. This is the latest video game. That's a fucking video game. What is it? Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was like, this is fucking scary. We do live in a simulation. Top cheese.
That's how they make the
Mm,
Mandalorian.
mm-hmm.
They do? With
Yeah.
Unreal Engine 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh shit.
instead
I
of
thought it was
using
one
a
of those green screens and they had like a green screen in the background and they just had a camera like on a rig or some shit.
no. So they, instead of a green screen,
Uh-huh.
they just have like a big ass monitor. Well, I guess
Uh-huh.
it's still technically a
Mm-hmm.
screen, right?
Technically,
Mhm.
yeah.
But instead of them like fixing it in the editing, right, and
Mhm.
superimposing whatever image they want in the background,
Yeah.
they generate in Unreal Engine the background that they want, and it's projected onto the screen for the actors. So like if you go
Oh.
on set, if it was just a regular green screen, it'd be like if I looked behind me, everything would be green,
Yeah.
and then Juan edits it and keys in, I don't know, a bunch
Mm-hmm.
of dicks in my face. Like, but on the set of The Mandalorian, instead of doing that, they actually project what the background is, so the
Mhm.
actors can actually see that. Like, I would
Mm-hmm.
be able to see
Oh.
the dicks.
Yeah.
Wow, that didn't know. That's pretty fucking badass. And I'm a
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars shill. Like I watch all that behind the scenes shit, and I just hadn't seen that one yet. Damn, that's the future,
Mm-hmm.
boys.
The truly scary part about this unrecorded footage is that since it's an Unreal,
Uh huh.
It's going to be in Fortnite.
God, maybe they'll put take it to Warzone. I don't play Fortnite. I play Warzone. I play
Bro-
horrible Warzone.
So I am too old and too um I have no more like free time really
Hmm.
to be able to do
Mhm.
this. But with the Unreal 5 update and Fortnite, you can make your own games like in Fortnite using all of Fortnite's assets and tools and shit.
Really? That's
Yeah,
I didn't
so
know that.
there's
Pretty
like
cool.
YouTube videos of people making like hyper realistic Fortnite where like the lighting and everything looks like fucking real life, like if it was
Mhm.
more like a Resident Evil game, but it's still just Fortnite.
It's Fortnite, man.
Wow.
Yeah, because they showed it off like Epic. They did like I think like three little maps, showing off some of the technology. One of them is that like you fight like a dragon, and that's it. It's like a little like 2 minute thing. You just pick up a sword,
Yeah.
fight off the dragon, and stuff. But again, it does show like it's just them like showing off that like this is what the technology is capable. This is not just what Fortnite's capable of, but what Unreal like is capable of.
Jesus. Man,
Mm-hmm.
AI, Unreal, Jesus, dude. We're going towards Ready Player One, and I'm here for it. I'm fucking here for it. Take
I
me away
guess
to the Oasis.
I guess the big question regarding Unrecord would be: is there a line of when a game is too real?
Hmm.
Um, I think that question would come up because the like you see the game, and when you watch the game, somebody's getting shot, and it's the footage. If there's somebody out there that takes that engine, knows what they're doing, takes that kind of footage and makes something like that, and make it to like frame somebody in some manner, that's when I think that question will be like, oh, hey, this shit's getting way too real, because
So
it's,
kind of like a deep fake.
kind of like a deep
Yeah.
fake, yeah. Because especially right now, when you watch any of these congressional hearings, especially when it comes to tech, and you hear these congressmen, and I mean they're old, they're not really great with technology. You hear the dumbass questions they ask. It's like, God, dude,
does
really?
TikTok
Come on.
does
This
TikTok connect to Wi-Fi?
I like looking at the reactions, the faces of like. I know there's a couple of videos on TikToks where they just put that silly music in the background and just the guy's face of like,
Do,
"The
do, do,
fuck did you
do,
just
do,
ask me?
do, 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 do,
did,
do.
did you just fucking ask me that?" Like, I know there's got to be somebody out there that just wants to be like, "Bro, really? Did you just fucking ask me that?" Be like, "Did you wear your diaper today? Because that's what you fucking sound like." Like, Jesus Christ.
Bro, do you know like what the internet is? Like,
Mm-hmm.
do you know what
I
a
feel like they
website
do
is,
it on
sir?
purpose. I feel like they do it on purpose. These congressmen, like, there's got to be some of them that like, okay, yeah, I do know what the internet is. Yeah, I do know what, if this connects or not. But then again, like some of the people I deal with in my job, they're young people, people our age, that honestly don't know how to even use a basic computer. They
And
literally
that's
will come up
why
to
I
me.
don't think it's fake, because there's so many like technologically illiterate people. That's what leads
Yeah,
me to think like, no, these Congress people asking these dumb questions, it's because they generally do not know how this
they
works. Like
generally
it's
don't
not
know.
an act.
Yeah.
They don't know this. And I'm pretty sure any if someone watching this works in IT or something, leave your story in the comments.
Well, not only that, but when you are a congressman or you're that high level, executive or congressman or anything that's that high level, you don't do a lot of things yourself. Like, all your passwords get set up. You just say, "Oh, hey,
Hmm.
do this. Hey, do that." You
Mm.
delegate everything to everybody else, and they pretty much do everything for you. So you're prepared to do whatever it is you got to do. So I think that also has a lot to do with it. That's why they don't know, because they're going to have to actually be like, "Well, shit. Now I gotta fucking figure out how to set up my damn iPhone, you know. So that's where I think it also comes into. That's why I think this this for us as gamers who and people who are into tech and that like these kinds of things, and we can see the good and the great entertainment and stuff that's going to come out of it. But there's also that one asshole in the background who's like, you know what, I don't like this guy or this person. I'm going to use every tool I have in my disposal to make this guy's life hell or this particular person's life hell. And that's where I think, if you don't, not regulate it, but just aren't careful, I guess, because I don't really want. There's certain things that I'm thinking I don't really think you should regulate that. Like, come on. But then there's that one asshole that ruins everything for everybody. That's at least that's my thought. That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Uh, I forgot where I was going with that. When you brought up regulation, it made me think of the ESRB because the video games right now aren't really regulated, and
Nope.
it's because of the ESRB.
Hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
the industry itself said we don't want like government to get in here, so
Yeah.
we will self govern ourselves.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
that
mean,
yeah.
it's worked pretty good so far, to be
The thing
honest.
is that like once the Unreal technology is free because like you
Uh huh.
can
Mm-hmm.
just download Fortnite. You just create a Fortnite account. Like granted, you're still gonna be tied to Fortnite, so like
Hmm.
Epic can police it a little bit, but if something manages to go viral, like if you're working on it before you publish it or anything, and that
Hmm.
footage goes viral, if all you wanted to do was make a shit like uh, a video to slander somebody using Unreal, like you don't really need to post that on the official Epic or the official Fortnite game. You just
Hmm.
need to
Mm-hmm.
screen capture what you made,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. You're right about that. Didn't even think
Mm-hmm.
about that shit.
Like yeah, that I think with me it's more along the lines of like how would you rate something? Because I mean, you look at the like on the back of the box where the ESRB puts like the why it's rated for certain reason.
Hmm.
One of the weird ones was they always had like comic mischief, whatever that means.
Hmm.
I always understood it as like cartoon violence. I guess like it's animated.
Yeah.
You can tell. It's like, and so I'm wondering they if you make the violence too realistic, is that an automatic M rating, or is it possible to still have realistic depictions of violence and then just maybe market it like to 10 and above, or T for teen, or I don't know, because I know there was
I
like
mean,
some. Huh?
it depends how heavy you go with it, I guess, because
Yeah.
Mortal
Yeah,
Kombat has
and
realistic violence.
that's the one I was gonna bring up.
Hmm.
It's and but yeah, because with Mortal Kombat, like yeah, they went all out with the realism, and I know that was a complaint with some of the developers because they said it got to the point where they were they pretty much had to watch actual violent videos of
Hmm.
people getting dismembered, you name it, so that they could animate it realistically in the video game to the point that it's like, man, that's like really messed up. That could like
So they're watching
traumatize a
faces to death.
person. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly. And so the idea that you had to watch something like that, something realistic for a video game, like yeah, that kind of rubs me the wrong way.
yeah, it's. I think you're right because if you do watch enough of that, it it traumatizes you, but it also desensitizes you
Hmm.
to shit in real
Yeah.
life. That's another issue I think that comes up. Though those are other issues I think that fall by the wayside because you're focused on one thing, but that is something also that attributes to that. Especially with some things today. Because the argument that people always use, especially in congressional hearings, and at court cases, is like, oh well, he played violent video games, and this is what made him do this and that, and it's like, I mean, that's not really a great argument, because we've been doing this shit for forever. Violence has always been a part of human nature for the longest time. I don't think that, oh, this guy was playing, because they always who did they always blame for a long time was Grand Theft Auto. Was
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
always like, oh, because you got to beat up hookers and beat the shit out of people just on the street. It's basically just being lawless, doing whatever you want, which is, in my opinion, that was a fucking awesome game. But it didn't make me want to go out and punch a hooker. it didn't. It didn't make me go out
Yeah.
and just start carjacking people. So it's that I know that same argument is going to be brought up again. In these situations, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
dude, you got to come up with something because what you're just playing straw man. Is that what they call it? Straw man argument. I think
Yeah.
is that's the correct term.
Like
It's
when you go
yeah,
for
yeah,
the weak, like the yeah,
Yeah,
it's when you
that's
replace
it's
it with
when
something else.
yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and
Like
it's
when
just like, and that's the thing that I think is it's gonna contend with, because I think Unrecord is gonna be, once it gets fully done and he's doing what he's doing, I think it's gonna be a really cool game, but I'm gonna be able to tell, like, okay, I know this isn't real, but there's gonna be somebody out there that's gonna fucking think, oh
Mm-hmm.
my god, or there's gonna be that one parent, oh my god, what are you playing? What are you doing?
the next section of Unrecord is going to be like a cow level, so that people
It's gonna
Yeah.
be
to
no, it's
just to
gonna be
remind people that
Just
it's a game.
one of
Like-
those Street Fighter levels where you gotta beat up a car, except you're like, I don't know, beating up a punching bag, or you're just breaking windows. Gotta get through this section really fast.
Mhm.
Or there's gonna be your little fairy next to you. Hey, listen. It's gonna be like in the shape of a badge.
But yeah, I didn't even consider that yeah, they're definitely gonna bring back like video games as like the blame for,
Yeah,
horrible
Yeah,
things,
yeah.
especially cuz now it's more realistic,
yeah,
I didn't even consider that until you brought it up. And one thing that I do want to point out is I have the game page right now on Steam up, and they actually
yeah,
posted like a little like uh FAQ. And one of the questions is pro police or anti police. And um,
I think it's pro body cam, bro. Like,
I mean,
yeah.
yeah, like it's it's such a weird question to ask, especially because it's not even out yet,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
But let's face it.
let's it's
If this was real, like if people weren't like, if I had come across it the same way Paco did, where it was like an Instagram video, I would have immediately been like, "That's fake," because the body cam's on. Like, cops seem to always fucking forget to turn that bitch
to
on whenever some shit goes down. Like, ah
Like,
man,
so
like
show us your body
Mhm.
cam footage. Oh man, it was off. Why is it off? What were
I
you
went to
doing?
Whataburger, bro, and I
Bro,
accidentally like spilled my Dr
spill some
Pepper
ketchup.
shake all over it. Like,
Dipping my fries in that spicy ketchup. It got all over my can, man. Sorry. It turns out it's blood. You know what? I will say something that's funny about it though. Do you remember when, or I'm sure you've seen those memes where everybody talks about how first-person shooters aren't realistic because of the way you're watching the screen and the way the gun is shaped. How
yeah.
Mhm.
they'd always put the eyes and face would be on the torso.
Mm.
Mhm.
The way you play. Well, now this is real because that's where your body cam is. So
Yeah.
now it's like, well, yeah, now this is accurate because you're not using your face, you're using the body cam. Be like, fuck you.
I had a random thought. You guys remember the movie Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
I remember when it was coming out that there was a lot of talk about like how realistic the graphics and everything were in it. And there was this one bit on Conan that I really loved, but like they haven't uploaded it onto their YouTube channel because every once in a while they'll upload like an old clip from when he was still in NBC,
uh-huh.
Mhm.
and and it was talking about how like since the technology was super new, like you can tell that like they started to run out of money towards the end, and they show like the clip from the movie that like the network got to show like to promote it,
Yeah,
and they spliced in footage of like, so it starts off with like the real movie, the real clip, and then progressively it gets to lower and lower levels of animation. Like it starts with the CG, and then it goes to like a 2D animated section, and then it goes to like puppets. Like,
Hey man, I always love a good puppet in a movie.
that's what's gonna happen with this unrecord,
I mean,
this
yeah,
unrecord
because
game.
I don't even think it's on early access yet. You could just wish
No.
list the game, so
Or
they're gonna
if
run
I
out of
were
money.
making it, yeah, if I were making this game, I'd be like, oh god damn it, I'm fucking tired. All right, screw it. The last level's just pixel art. God damn
That's how they're gonna be able to distinguish the
it.
game. The first level you're gonna go through is gonna be super realistic. You're killing all these bad guys and gang members, and then the next level is you in Muppet Town.
The
You're just
last
walking
level
through.
is just
It's just a bunch of
the,
Muppets.
the last level is gonna be like a choose your own adventure. It's just text like, "Hey, I got too lazy to finish
And you
it."
just gotta type
I
it.
Which
take
door do
two
you want to go
shots.
through?
I I picture it like the graphics are gonna be like super hot, where it's just polygons.
Hey man, that's a great game by the way. I love that
Yeah,
game.
super hot is a very good game.
It's a very fun game. I will tell you that.
Speaking of games, well, now, or speaking of cops, I should say, let's move on to our next story where, hey guys, did you know that if you open packs of playing cards, or in this case, Magic the Gathering, cops can show up at your door
You can get
and just
swatted.
fuck your shit up?
Jesus. Well, I'm throwing away my order. Cancel my order real quick.
And
I
not
don't want to
just
get
any
swatted.
cops. Not just any cops. Pinkertons.
No fucking way.
Pinkertons.
The Pinkertons. Dude, they're
But
still around?
Yeah, dude, they've been
apparently,
around.
Jeez. Thought they went out with Bonnie and Clyde and shit. Thought the motherfuckers went out back then. I can't believe they're still fucking around.
No, they apparently they never went out of business. People have still been corporations, I guess, have been hiring them. Because
Ah,
we talked a
well,
little bit about it on the Excellence, and someone brought up that they were union busting.
mm,
Like,
yeah.
well, when you got a good reputation like that, I mean, of course the corporation's gonna hire you. I mean, they got a record. Like for a corporation, it's like, hey man, those guys got a good record. It'd be like, really, really? It's like, well, in the position we're in, that's the record. You're like, that's
Yeah.
fair. It's a fair
I
point.
like that Wizards of the Coast was like, man, this son of a bitch. He got our super secret cards that we were about to release in 3 weeks.
Yeah, but you sent them to him. Why is he getting? Oh
we
well.
we need
Okay.
we need vengeance. Get me the guys
Ex-
that killed John
yeah.
Marston.
Actually, yeah. We should probably back up a bit so we can like fill in anybody who's confused and has no idea what we're talking about. Before we do that, I do want to clear the air a bit that this is still a developing story. We don't know all the details like yet because this did happen just a few days ago. So one thing that I do want to clear up is that we don't know if it was actually Pinkertons that went to his house. It's just being widely reported that it is, but I just want to throw that out there that we
What if?
don't know. We're just rolling with it, but
I think the guy
What if?
said Pinkertons in the video. That's
yeah.
yeah.
See, what actually happened was the media asked him his questions, and what he said was the guy was wearing a pink shirt, and they're like, Pinkertons, they're back. That's what actually happened. The guy was wearing a pink shirt. Yeah, so the Pinkertons attacked him. Wait, no, I didn't say that. What? No.
Shh, just roll with it.
Yeah, well, I don't know, Jay. Do you want to fill the audience in and explain what exactly happened that led up to this?
Okay, so I don't know the YouTuber's name, but
I'll see if I can find
he,
it.
yeah, he's a Magic the Gathering influencer, I guess you could call it. A content creator is
Yeah,
probably the
Dan
preferred term.
Cannon.
Dan Cannon.
Yeah.
He ordered some Magic the Gathering cards from a contact from his source that he usually um, gets cards from, I think. the thing is that that guy's more of a Pokemon supplier, not really into
Magic the
Magic that
Gathering.
much.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So he orders Rise of the Machines, I think, or it's a
Mm,
newish
yeah,
set,
March of the Machine. The
March of the
aftermath.
Machines.
Yeah.
Right. So the thing is, the set that he intended to get is just March of the Machines.
Hmm.
That's the set that's currently, as at time of recording, out, released officially. You could go into a store, into your local game store, and pick up some booster packs of March of the Machines.
Hmm.
He was, according to him, he was sent March of the Machines was
Uh, the
aftermath.
the aftermath. Yeah.
That is the unreleased set. That
Hmm.
is uh but according to him he was sent that by mistake, and since the names are so similar, right, it's like I wanted Rambo 3 and they sent me Rambo.
Last
like,
blood.
like,
Hmm.
like, it's it's one of those where it's like the names are so similar, bro. Like it's
Hmm.
an easy mistake to make. I wanted RoboCop the '87 version, and I got the shitty Black RoboCop, the 2019 or what?
Or
No,
it's
what
like
year?
War of the Worlds,
2013.
but I got War with the Worlds.
Yeah, I want. It was one of those, and so he opened them, and Wizards of the Coast was not aware that he had gotten these by mistake, how he had gotten them. So they just assumed that they were stolen, and they sent goons out to recover their stolen property.
Oh shit, man! You want to keep shit under wraps? Go all out.
Well, alleged goons, I should say, because we don't,
Yeah, because we
like Juan
don't.
said, we don't know.
I mean, you say alleged goons, but the way the world is, I'm pretty sure they are goons. They've got to be goons. I mean, you could have just politely asked, like, "Hey, man, we saw your YouTube video. Can you like I thought after you
See
told
that
me after that, they maybe sent him an email. Somebody caught wind of it and got back to Wizards of the Coast. Maybe they sent an email or a phone call like, "Hey, can you please take down the video? We'll reimburse you." Or, "Hey, can you please send us that back?" And if it's like they sent goons to us, maybe he just told man, "Go fuck yourself." Like, I'm fucking leaving that video up. I got 10 million views. It's like, you want to play dirty? Call the Pinkertons. Call the guy with the pink shirt. Pinkerton?
well,
Yeah, that guy.
according to him, Wizards of the Coast did both.
Hmm.
Like
Oh.
they were good cop, bad cop themselves.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like, they're
Oh,
like,
okay.
okay, so the thing is, they opened hot. Like
Hmm.
like
Give us
they
our
came
shit
in
or we'll
hot.
break your legs. What?
And then afterwards, they're like, "Oh, we're so sorry that happened to you, bro. Like, we didn't intend for it to go that far. Allow us to, like formally apologize." And I think they offered him like not a refund, but like to reimburse him with
Uh-huh.
free product,
Free stuff.
free
Yeah.
Magic the Gathering card. Maybe they'll give him the One Ring.
Oh, maybe, maybe.
There's a I've been watching a lot of Magic the Gathering YouTube,
Uh-huh.
like before all this. uh, they're doing a set, or they have done a set, uh, that incorporates the Lord of the Rings.
Uh-huh.
So
Super
like
cool.
it's kind of like reskinning cards that already exist, and some of them are
Uh-huh.
completely new. But they are going to have uh, a card that's the One Ring,
Uh-huh.
but there's going to be a very limited, one of a kind version of that card that I think is written in Elvish. Like all of the text
Ooh,
on it is
that's
written in
cool.
Elvish, but it's the only one in existence. Like they're not gonna make.
That's fucking badass. That's pretty fucking cool. Like the
that
like the Black Lotus, isn't that one of those like super rare or
that
ultra
one's
rare
super rare
cards?
because it was from like the origins. Like it was one
Hmm.
of the first magic
First
cards,
cards, yeah, one of the first Magic
first
cards.
sets to be put out. But it was
Uh-huh.
also like they were kind of out of money by the time they went into production. So it was like we can only make so many.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
So
But
that's why
this one's
the
like we're only making one of these bitches.
yeah,
Yeah.
this one's on purpose. This one, and
Ah, okay.
I'm kind of two minds about it because like it's awesome that
Mhm.
that's gonna exist. I like the idea of it, but if I was someone that is into really hardcore into Magic, I'd be like, this is bullshit. I'll never have that. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like,
You're just teasing me.
right?
Mhm.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, it'd
Yeah.
be one thing if you could take a tour of like the wizard offices,
Yeah.
Wizards of the Coast offices, and they like had it in on display, and that was the only one.
Yeah.
Like no one could actually own it. It
Have
was
it.
just
Yeah.
like there.
Yeah. It's a real
I'd be
card, but
cool with
nobody owns
that.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'd be cool with that, but I think they're actually going to like put it in like the Willy Wonka this shit and give someone a golden ticket.
Man, they're not gonna do that. They're gonna give it to Joe Manganiello. Or
Or they're probably
who's
yeah, or they're probably just
uh,
gonna
yeah,
auction it off to the highest bidder.
yeah. Who's the Magic the
Mhm.
Gathering guy? Is it Joe Manganiello or what the fuck is his name? He's from Magic Mike. He's super into D&D.
Yeah. It's
Uh,
a
Maybe. Yeah.
yeah.
It's a,
is that his name? Because
No.
every time I
Yeah.
see Joe
It's
Manganiello, I always think of like a football player, and I can't remember what football player, and because I don't know shit
it's
about
Joe
sports.
Montana.
Joe Montana, or Joe Montana and Joe Montana.
Mhm.
But yeah, I
I
feel like
always
they'd be
think
like,
of
"Hey, we're gonna give it to Joe Manganiello."
I always think of Fat Tony from The Simpsons because because I think the actor's name is Joe Mangelana Manja.
Mangiano,
No, I'll look it up. Joe Mantanga.
Montana.
Mantena. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's because it's in the Water Boy. It's
yeah.
that
Yeah.
joke
Joe
where
Montana.
he's like Joe Montana was a quarterback. I said Joe Montana. It's that joke. That's why whenever I say Joe Manganiello, I don't know why, but my brain goes to Joe Montana, and I'm like, is that the guy's name? Because I know he's like super into D&D. Like he has
Yeah.
like a celebrity game. Him and Vin Diesel and all that. They I don't know if Vin Diesel's invited to the game. I'm not sure. I just know that
Mhm.
he hosts
He's
like
not family.
he's not family. He doesn't drink Coronas. Because I just saw a recent video where those I know you see him on TikTok and Instagram where they're making tables out of like gigantic trees or
Oh
pieces of
yeah,
trees,
Yeah.
and he had a custom one just made for a custom D&D table for him and his like D&D group. And I was like, that's fucking badass because he does the kind of shit I would do if I had money. Be like, my
Yeah.
house would probably be the size of like a fucking one room apartment. But like, is this all of your apartment? Like, no, I have an underground. And then the underground is like this gigantic gaming theater room
yeah.
with a giant car garage next to it. Be like, where do you sleep? That little couch upstairs. Like, this is where my money goes. This is why I have a Millennium Falcon in my living room. This is why. It's the
I'd
only
do
reason I
that.
made all that money.
But
Yeah.
also, like, if I had some kind of weird successful business where it's
Uh
like
huh.
maybe not Amazon level money, but like I'll never
Yeah.
have to worry about money again.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd have like my underground like with all my nerd shit, but also I'd just have a grotto, like the grotto from the Playboy Mansion.
You know what? I'd go buy the actual grotto and just have it carved out and delivered to where my home would be. Be like,
The idea
is
of
this
a
the
grotto,
grotto?
like,
I
it's
feel like
just
that
always
grotto at the
seems so
Playboy
like.
Mansion, you can't put up a black light. Just the amount of
I'm pretty sure
ceiling
like
everywhere.
nowhere in the room, nowhere in the Playboy Mansion, like
Just a bright
probably
light
not
from
even the
space.
lawn.
Like, oh god, everything just has a
Why are there
film
so
of
many gopher
stickiness.
holes? Those aren't gopher
Oh
holes.
god, oh god. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh,
Oh, but to go back to the whole Magic the Gathering thing or Wizards of the Coast, let's face it, I think they went like after the wrong guy. Like, I mean, I get like getting wanting to get the product back because it
yeah,
wasn't supposed to be released yet,
yeah.
but this was like a distributor issue.
Issue.
They released it early, and this isn't like an uncommon thing. This happens a lot. I know with video games, it's happened a lot, like in the past, where people have gotten access to a game early
Yeah,
because a store accidentally sold it before the
Yeah.
release date.
yeah.
And actually, I think Jay, you were with me one time. It wasn't with the video game, but it was, we were at our local Walmart, and Disney Infinity had just released the Star Wars update, and when we were there, they had some of the figures there on display, and I'm like, oh well, I want a Han Solo figure, so I grabbed it, and when I took it to the register, they it kept bringing up an error. So a manager comes over, looks at it, and just goes like, "Hey, I'm sorry, but like, we can't sell this to you." And I'm like, "Why not? I want to buy it." And they were just like, "No, like,
Sir, my money
we
is
don't
good
know.
here.
Like, we just, we just, we just can't sell it. Sorry, we're getting an error. I can't fix it." And it's like, well, that sucks. And then I found out why. It's because they accidentally put it up on display 2 days early. It wasn't supposed to be
Uh,
out yet. It was like, and so, and I had told other people the story, and other people were like, no, I would have gone full Karen and like complained, going like, hey, it's already up on the shelf. Like, I should be able to buy it. I don't know what. I'm like, yeah, but I
that's
didn't know it was early, I
yeah.
just thought, well, that's weird. The computers aren't working, and I just walked away. I had no idea that it was it hadn't come out yet.
That's a good option. Go full Karen. It's always a good option. It's when white people come in handy.
Yeah.
I want an early release.
True
I will go full
that.
Karen. But you're right. It is a distributor problem, and also all they had to do, if the guy said, "Well, I'm not going to remove the video, or I'm not going to take the video down," I mean, I'm sure Wizards of the Coast could have contacted YouTube and done some kind of like copyright strike, or not copyright strike, but said, "Hey, this video is." Using something that we haven't released yet or not authorized, and the video would have gotten taken down like that. And and then yeah, you would have gone to the distributor because there's always those dudes at the distributor like, oh man, I got access to this, I got access to that, whatever they can do to make a quick buck. Because I mean, let's be honest. If one of us worked at some kind of distributor, we're like, oh hey man, we get all the new Pokemon cards, or we get all the new like released video games. They come through my department. I'm not gonna lie. If the opportunity presents itself, I'd probably jack a copy real quick, without letting them know and be like, "Oh shit, hey, it got sent out on accident. Look what get off the back of the truck," kind of shit. Like, because when I used to work for like a week. I worked at over there in Fort Worth by Alliance Airport is the Nokia factory, or
Mhm.
where you just package phones. And I was there for like a week because I didn't like the fucking job. But one of the things that they told you in like the orientation is that they do check. They're like, we do check the dumpsters, because what they were having issues with is like you see all these new phones and everything that were being packaged. And so this is a long time ago. So this is when Nokia had some cool shit. What
Right.
they would do is they would throw away some of those phones along with the trash down the chute and into the dumpster.
Ah,
And then on lunch breaks or smoke breaks, they just run over to the dumpster real quick, grab
pick it
what
up.
they threw away, and then just put it in their car, get back to work. There was a lot of that was going on. So they were like, "Oh yeah, we do check the dumpsters periodically. We do have security out there. They would check bags and stuff like that." So, these kinds of distributors, I could see why that stuff happens and how it happens, but nowadays everybody wants clout. So, instead of getting away with it, your dumbass put it on the fucking internet, or, and me, if I would have gotten that, I would have called Wizard like, hey man, I got some of your stuff. You want it back? Send me 2 sets and I'll send
Well,
this
I
back to
don't
you.
think even he realized that he had something that wasn't released yet.
Yeah, because
Oh,
he
okay.
he did
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
from what I understand, he did, it was like a blind unboxing. So it wasn't until he was
Hmm.
already on camera that he realized, oh holy shit, this is
Oh,
yeah,
that's a great reaction video
like
right there.
yeah,
Holy shit, guys.
yeah, he got the
He,
aftermath, not the
Just yeah.
original one or whatever. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. He pulled a Tom Holland with
Uh,
the
with the
uh
script.
with the Infinity War poster, yeah, where it's
Yeah.
like he holds up the letter and it's like confidential, do not share.
Check.
Oh.
Check out this poster, guy.
Oh shit.
Shit.
I ordered cubic zirconias. I received diamonds. I ordered coal, received diamonds. I mean, yeah, that's a great unboxing, a great blind video right there. Pull it out like, oh my god, I got the one
Jackpot of
ring.
jackpots.
Yeah. In the magic world, the jackpot of jackpots. That's pretty fucking awesome. I love that.
Wizards been taking a lot of L's. Wizards of the Coast has been
Mhm.
taking a lot of L's lately. Like,
See, like I asked y'all earlier, I thought they were done because I could have swore, well, like last year that they said, okay, D&D is over, we're finished, we're not making any more like campaigns, books, or games. I could have swore that was what the announcement was, and people were all up in arms.
no, it
And
wasn't
but I
that.
don't
Yeah.
know Magic or D&D. I don't know any of this stuff because I've never played it before. As much as I want to. I've never played it before. So that's what I thought that when y'all released the story, I was like, oh shit, or did they like make a comeback or that's what was my initial thought.
No, they're still okay. I mean, the thing is they were bought out by Hasbro,
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
and so Hasbro is like looking checking the books and they're like, "Hey, we have like this huge D&D property, but it's not bringing in any dollars. Like, why is that?" And so what they tried to do was change the license. Like when you play D&D, you don't really like sign a legal agreement, but there's a legal agreement that you're not going to, when you play a board game or whatever, it's like
Yeah.
you're not going to flip this, right? Like you're not going to
Mhm.
rip this off and try to sell it as your own game. Like
Yeah.
you're not.
Oh, okay.
So D&D's license is kind of just like, hey, you can take the rules and do whatever you want with them. Like you can take this world and these character your own characters really, but like you can take this world and this rule set and do what you want to with it. It's
Uh-huh.
free and clear, totally whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
What they were trying to do was change it so it's like it's not really free and clear anymore. If you're making money off of it, we want to cut. So like
Oh.
if you're creating your own campaigns and selling them,
Uh-huh.
we need our piece.
Oh, so that's how it works. Because whenever I hear anybody talk about D&D and playing D&D, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we played this campaign," I'm like, "What? How? What? I don't. I've never seen that book." Or they're like, "Oh, I got it from some dude off of fucking Reddit or
Yeah, yeah.
some
Yeah.
message board." I was like, "Really? Like that?" Because like I said, I don't know how it works. Because all the stories and I follow all the TikToks too, and these stories are fascinating. I love all the stuff the people come up with. Like, one guy's like, "Oh, this character that I created, he appears in every world. Everywhere we go, there's like a version of him, but he's the same exact guy. He just he just doesn't realize he's just somewhere different. He's like it's like a Shaggy character. Like, he's like it's like I think the way they said it was he's like normal, but he's in every world. Everywhere we go, that guy is working at that pub. We go to this castle, he's like a fucking dude in the background, but he's always there. And
He's
then
like Nurse Joy.
yeah, and then I think I'm not sure, but in one of the comments I think somebody said that they made their own lore, like, oh well, he's actually some kind of reality bending being who doesn't realize he's like this godlike reality being. His powers just happen and he's just like, oh cool, like, so this is I'm mopping over here now. So like it's stuff like that that I see these campaigns and I've always wondered, like, oh, it's something that like these D&D guys are creative as fuck, and it's like, oh no, it's just the players coming up with this cool ass shit.
Yeah.
That's why I find
Yeah.
it so fascinating.